Hi everyone, today we've got the latest release from Rebor, which is their Tyrannosaurus Rex Kiss, which we have seen before, but this is the island variant. Very excited to get this. It is coloured after the T.rex from Prehistoric Planet, and once we open it up you'll get a closer look at the coloration. We'll just have a quick look at the box. Standard box design from Rebor, very simplistic but very good. You've got the nice black background with the T-rex in the center there. You can see its skeleton, and you've got the name of the model up here and the Rebor logo. And on the back of the box you do have all the dinosaur models Rebor has released. I think that is pretty much all of them. So we'll get this guy opened up so you can have a closer look at him. So inside the box you do get this little information card about the T-rex. Just gives you a bit of information about it, and you have some skeletal remains of the T-rex here. You've got some of its teeth and its skull, and you can see its size compared to us humans there in the bottom right. You can see how it scales up. Yeah, very nice addition by Rebor. And here is the Rebor T-rex with the tail assembled, so this does come detached from the body. Just use a bit of heat or some oil and whack it on there. I managed to do it without, but generally recommend using heat or some oil to get the tail on. But that's in there nice and firm, so we can have a look at the completed T-rex model here. And as I said before, the colour scheme is reminiscent or inspired by the Rexes we saw in the documentary Prehistoric Planet, which was a very good documentary about dinosaurs. If you haven't watched it, I think anyone who's a fan of dinosaurs has most likely definitely seen it, and really fell in love with the design of the Rexes there. And Rebor have given us their Rex with the Prehistoric Planet colour scheme, which is very good to see. It was something that I think a lot of people were after, a representation of the T-rex from that documentary. And I did see a few people repainting their T-rex models with this sort of paint scheme. So it was nice to get this officially from Rebor. And if you've had their previous Kiss model, it's exactly the same sculpt. In my eyes it is exactly the same. I don't think there's any differences, but we'll compare it to the old Kiss model later on. But I just want to appreciate the detail on this and the patterning. It's very nice. So you've got that nice striping going down the face there. Got these parts on the top of the head done in this white colour, this bone white. I feel like the jaw might have the same issue that the previous Kiss model has, where over time it just starts drooping down. But on the inside of the mouth you can see there's some very nice detail in there. You can see the tongue's done very nicely. Got that nice gloss finish on the inside. And the teeth are done very well. Got some very nice scaling along the face here. You've got these larger scales on the lips of the T-rex. And here you can see the eyes of the T-rex. It's a very small yellow eye with a black pupil. And as we look at the throat here, you've got some very nice skin folds and wrinkles. And you have this red paint going across the throat here, which looks very cool. And it does continue along parts of the body here, so you've got more of that red tone there. Very nice skin wrinkling and folds on this. I think it's exactly the same as the previous Kiss model. Got this very nice print across the body here. Very nice patterning. Then you have the striping here across the back, and that continues on to the tail. You can see these massive powerful legs of the T-Rex here. Very nice muscle definition on there. And then you can see a bit of the seam where the tail joins on. So, as we saw earlier, the mouth is articulated. You do have movement in the arms, though mine are a bit stiff out the box, so you can move them forward and back. And the tail is movable, so it's got a bendy wire in there, so you can position that however you would like. So we'll compare this version to the previous Kiss model, and we'll see if there's any noticeable differences apart from the coloration, but I don't think there is. But we'll compare them and we'll have a look. Here we have both versions of Rebor's Kiss, and I had a look at the sculpts and they are exactly the same. But you can see these two compared with each other and the differences in the coloration. I'm not sure which one I like more. They're both very good. I remember getting the first Kiss model and being really blown away by the detail and sculpt on this model from Rebor. I think that was the first time, or one of the first models we had of a T-Rex with lips, and I think a lot of people really liked that, me included in that. And I was really blown away by it. I thought the detail was great, and previously to this I think Rebor were just releasing T-Rexes based on the dinosaur we saw from Jurassic Park, so we're getting sort of different versions of that T-Rex. Rebor did do a different looking T-Rex a while ago. I think it was one of their first ones, which was sort of standing on this rock and had like an orange colour scheme, but this Kiss model was leagues ahead of that, and I'm still blown away by the detail on this island version, and I'm so glad we've got a version of the T-Rex from Prehistoric Planet. We have the exact, well, maybe not 100%, but definitely close enough to that colour scheme, and I absolutely love the details on this. They're still so great, and it just blows me away the amount of detail that is in this model, and the shelf presence of this model is just so great. It looks amazing on my display shelf next to some other T-Rexes, and it definitely does stand out from the bunch. So if I had to pick one out of these two Kiss models that we have, I'm definitely going with the island version. I just feel like the paint scheme is just so nice on this. But that's not to say that the original Kiss model is bad. At the time I still thought it was a really great looking colour scheme, and still is, but I just love this island version much more. and I definitely would recommend it, even if you have the original case. This one is just amazing to look at, and if you don't have any of them, I recommend this island version. But thanks for watching.